The storm system weaker and slower, resulting in minimal snow totals kind of across the board. We just didn't pick up near as much snow. Now it transitioned over from kind of a rain-snow mix late yesterday into some snow down south of the Denver area for places like the Palmer Divide. As we look toward our radar through the early morning hours, we saw a little bit of that rain-snow mix kind of pick up for us. But again, for the Denver area, it was mostly just wet roads out there through the early morning hours because we weren't able to see that transition to happen quicker for Denver and even into Castle Rock down toward the Palmer Divide. Just not a ton of snow. Eastern Colorado, lingering snow through the morning, but it all tracks out for us as we head through the day today. Now the high country will continue to see some snowfall through the afternoon as we move through our Tuesday. Wind speed will stay stronger, so conditions up into the high country, blowing snow out there even into eastern Colorado as well. Now as we move into the mid to late afternoon, maybe a few lingering flurries for places like the southern foothills into the Palmer Divide. Wouldn't expect much to amount in any accumulation, as it all will kind of wrap up for us overnight and into early tomorrow. Now hanging on to some advisories and warnings out there, mainly up into the high country, winter weather advisories as conditions along eastern Colorado will get better throughout the day today. But the other thing we're keeping our eye on are avalanche conditions up into our Summit County mountains. We've got avalanche danger level 4 out of 5, so very high concern for avalanche danger up into the high country. So avoid any backcountry activity if you are going to be going into the high country for today with those avalanche conditions. The other thing to watch will be the conditions along the roads on I-70 because that blowing snow causing concern out there. High wind warnings in eastern Colorado also in place. So while the snow didn't amount to much, the wind will be a big talker throughout the afternoon. We're talking sustained winds of 35 to 45 miles per hour with winds gusting about 70 miles per hour at times. Now, while that does not include the Denver metro area, it's just surrounding northern Colorado, off towards the eastern adjacent plains and down south. We'll be dealing with these strong winds throughout the day today. As we look at our futurecast wind gusts, we'll notice the strong winds into the afternoon. By the evening, starting to see some improvement. And around that sunset time frame, that's when we should start to see those winds really start to taper off, and it'll feel a little bit better going out there into tomorrow afternoon. High temperatures today, not all that bad. Eastern Colorado in the 30s, so a little cooler there. Most of the Denver area kind of in the low to mid 40s. Just depends on where you live today. But the one thing we will all have to contend with will be the wind. So while as far as temperatures are concerned, we'll be a little cooler than normal. It's just not going to feel that pleasant out there for us this afternoon as we'll be dealing with those strong winds. 20s and 30s up into the high country today. A little bit better as we go into tomorrow. We'll be getting into the low 50s, but we're tracking another storm system moving in on Thursday. That could bring some potential accumulating snow for us early Friday morning. Not looking at much, maybe a couple of inches here in the Denver area that we're going to want to keep our eye on. Otherwise, the next couple of days in the 50s. By Friday, we cool down. Saturday, we start to rebound back into the 40s, and conditions look pretty good for the weekend and going into early next week. But I want to take a closer look at that system that we're looking at for Thursday. This is the overnight hours, Wednesday into early Thursday morning. Noticing the foothills seeing some of that snow potential, high country picking that up as well. As far as the Denver area is concerned, really not looking at any moisture until kind of Thursday evening, falling as a rain-snow mix. Overnight, transitioning that over into some snow potential. And again, we're talking maybe a couple of inches here. So we'll, of course, track that as it gets closer. Looking ahead to next week, though, all that sunshine and those 60s make their return.